All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How are you all doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. I really got to post the show a little bit earlier and not 10 minutes before I'm supposed to start, because then nobody has a heads up that I'm going to be here. So just assume I'm going to be here, generally assume that I'm going to be here. You can be safe in that assumption. Um, but sometimes I post the show late, and then it makes people think that I'm not going to be around. Okay, but what's up, people? How are you? Lots to talk about. Of course, there was a crazy crash over the Potomac, or the Potomac, as some people call it. Nobody calls it the Potomac. I'm the macaroni. Um, yeah, and so that's a pretty wild news story, and looks awful. It looks pretty hinky, honestly. The fact that a Black Hawk helicopter that had its transponder off went straight at a passenger plane. I mean, there are some things about it that look pretty strange. There were a bunch of Russian nationals aboard the plane, so there's that. People are, giving the quiz face or the wonder face, you know, um, about all of it. Really, it looks pretty strange. Um, Even though we're going to hear from James Lee about it. Sorry, I'm kind of organizing some things while I'm talking to you. We're going to hear some from James Lee, giving a very um, kind of middle of the road explanation for what is going on, which certainly could be the explanation. I don't know. I don't know. You guys know? Do you guys know why planes crash into other planes? Sometimes it's on purpose. Um, Also, it looks like there's going to be um, a lot of warm spells mixed in with the coming cold spell, the polar vortex. Let's see if I can find. See if I can find this. I did have a post on this, but I seem to have lost it. Maybe I didn't lose it. Maybe I didn't lose it at all. I'm losing it. All I'm getting is old stuff. Why you got to bring up old stuff? Why? Oh, here we go. That's what I was looking for. That's the one. That's the one. All right, friends and neighbors. All right, people are up in Rockfin. What's up, William? AOD, old as dirt. Oh, Swami. Oh, Swami, where art thou? Get you some Dapper Dam. Oh, Swami. Let's see. Kamashwari, what's up? John Glad, what's up? People coming in. My bad for posting the show so late, because people come in kind of slow when I do that. We're live on Rumble, Rockfin, YouTube, the usuals. I'm gonna try and get my setup a little more happening in a second. Just obviously, I'm in an unusual space, so Not the space is unusual, but an unusual space in life. Trying to make sense of it all. But I have the basics. I got some coffee. I have a bed, a very cozy bed to sleep in, for that matter. So that's all good. Lowy Appets, what's up? Netherlands are still above sea level. All right, that's good to know. That's good to know. All right. Mm, okay, so let's look at this polar vortex thing first. And see what's up with the coming weather in the northern hemisphere. Not one, not two, but three surges of spring like warmth. You guys see this? Will cross the United States over the next week. I will feel much, it will feel much more like March or April at times. After that, a polar plunge during the second week of February. So we're going to get warmth, unseasonal warmth for a second, and then back to the snowy cold business. Um, yeah, that's going to be happening also. I don't want this one over here. I don't want this one over here. Hold on one second. Uh, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. California is going to get a bunch of rain. After being so dry and so on fire. We're going to get a bunch of rain. Very heavy precipitation will fall across northern California. So maybe not Southern California. Uh, over the next 6 days, with up to 15 to 20 inches expected in the northern Sierra, potentially causing significant flooding. Palisades, Tahoe could see 5 to 7 feet of snow by next Friday. Winter is back. Oh, that's good. Kamishwari Kate, you feeling safe in the tower? That's good. Oh, this is something else I forgot. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of things I forgot from yesterday and today. Oh, I forgot to show. Did I? I didn't show this yesterday. I don't think we ever got to the comedy. Oh, you know why? Well, I forgot to actually explain to you why I disappeared yesterday, and I'm sorry for that. Sorry that the stream just ended abruptly, which is super whack. The internet. I don't know. There's an issue with the internet box here where I'm at, and it just goes out randomly. So you just never really know when it's going to go out, and then it goes back on. So yes, I was almost at the end of the show, so that's fine. It wasn't a total loss, but I was trying to get to trying to get to the end of the show, and The internet just cut out. And the problem with the Rumble Studio is that if I was using StreamYard, I really don't want to pay for StreamYard because I think they're gouging people. And so I don't condone that kind of stuff. And I really don't want to be a party to it. I could probably, I mean, I think I can afford to pay for it, but I just don't want to because I find it repugnant that they raise their prices, jack their prices up almost double in 1 month. And it's an okay service. But the plus side of using StreamYard is if something like that happens, generally the stream is able to reconnect. If I have issues with the stream on one platform or, from the whatever happens, generally the stream will keep going, which is kind of a nice plus. If anything happens to the Rumble stream, it's over. That's the end. That's the end of the show. And it's kind of, you know, I don't know. Trying to decide whether it happens enough to warrant paying for StreamYard. Anyways, this is all just shop talk, and I'm sorry if I'm boring you with this. Anyways, this is funny. Me when I thought recycling would save the world. Me after I found out that plastic corporations invented plastic recycling to put the responsibility onto the consumer, even though they knew plastic recycling was both chemically and financially not feasible. Now I have plastic in my brain, lungs, and testicles. And yeah, Kameshwari, yes, you should know better. You feel safe until you're not. And then you're like, oh, dang. But, mostly we're safe. But maybe, what if we applied that false sense of safety to civilization in general, right? We got our food stores, we got our Targets, we got our Walmarts, we got our constant feed of energy and water coming to us, somebody to pick up our garbage. And we all, like, I had to leave my house. My house isn't there anymore, but I'm relatively safe. I'm still relatively safe, like on a on a on a basic human comfort level. Like I'm pretty safe. I feel pretty safe. Maybe we should all collectively understand that maybe we're not safe from civilization taking a hit, and you know I don't know what you want to do with that information, but yeah, it's really wild. Yeah, I mean, it's a Black Hawk helicopter. It's a military helicopter, Loey. Right. You want to get to the story? Let's get to it. If you're chomping on it, let's go. It's a big story. Um, it happened just last night, and everybody on the plane is um, deceased. Passenger jet with 64 aboard collides with Army helicopter near Washington's Reagan Airport. Um, is this from yesterday? It is. All takeoffs and landings from the airport were halted as helicopters from law enforcement agencies across the region flew over the scene in search of survivors. Inflatable rescue boats were launched into the Potomac River just north of the airport. Trump said he had been fully briefed on this terrible accident and may God bless their souls. He also, he blamed the crash on DEI, which is freaking stupid. So, I don't. It's just not necessary to put forward that. You know, it's just about as ridiculous as like blaming it on illegal immigration. Well, if we didn't have illegal immigration happening, then this plane crash wouldn't. What does that have to do with anything, bro? It's just ridiculous, and it's a level of weirdness that I don't think people really want to hear. Um, I personally don't want to hear it. But has everybody seen the video of it? I don't know. I'm assuming everybody's seen the video already, but um, I'll play it if you guys want to see it. It's Here we go. Um, oh, that's a weird video. Let's. I think this is okay. Here we go. And the bizarre thing is that it doesn't look like the. I mean, the plane is landing, right? So the plane really can't but this chopper is just going straight for the plane, like dead on. Like the chopper has much more maneuverability than the plane does. So why did this chopper go straight into this plane? And both are moving at a speed, so it actually takes it actually takes some coordination to do this, right? Like if you were, oh, okay, I'll play it. If you were, let's say the pilot of the helicopter was deceased or unconscious, it would be pretty. I mean, the chances that the helicopter would just be flying in a straight line, still flying in a straight line. So let's just for a second, just a very quick deconstruction. Yeah, I of course Biden and I saw somebody blaming Biden for this, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't know, no, don't do that, don't do that. Um, he's gone. It's Trump now, so his administration is not. I don't know, but yeah, just for a quick deconstruction, you can't. If something is wrong with the helicopter, about the only thing that I can think of is that the throttle and all the controls are stuck, and it's going straight, and there's no way to avoid a crash with a plane, which is highly unlikely, right? Given the probability that a helicopter is going to go while a plane is moving, landing, right, and a helicopter is going, that they're both moving objects going to collide in the middle of the sky. Like that is just very, you know, highly unlikely from just a coincidental standpoint. And it looks like the helicopter is making a beeline for the plane. So just on a visual basis, it looks weird, it looks hinky, it looks like something strange is going on there. It does not look like an accident. Okay, it just does not look like an accident. This is not, anyway, and there was a flight path for the helicopter, and it was going down the Potomac and almost missed a couple other planes. And it's just like, anyways. Well, okay, we'll watch it for Loey's sake. No, God dang it! Can we not do that? All right, so here's one view of the crash. Um, and we'll watch it a couple times. A Black Hawk helicopter flying over the Potomac River crashes into American Airlines Flight 5342 at the Reagan National Airport with an inbound flight from Wichita. The crash appears intentional from the helicopter and is being investigated. So let's Here's the plane coming in right here. Wham! That's when the helicopter hits the plane, and both of them just drop right out of the sky. Man, okay, you seen it. That is if you can see one more time, the helicopter is going straight for the plane. Bam. I don't that it just does not look like an accident. Period. One more time. That's it. God dang it. Oh, that had to be horrible to be like close by and watch that. It's horrible to watch on the screen. Uh I don't see any way that that's an accident. I just don't see it. But um apparently the Black Hawk took off from like a Saudi Arabian consulate area, and that's also weird too. John Glad says plane on guide path hits helicopter in its path. Yeah, I mean the plane is not gonna the plane is landing. The plane is not gonna probably doesn't think the helicopter is gonna go straight at it. It's no, it's not supposed to be in the flight paths. Nobody does that. Yeah, it's just not. There is definitely something weird about this. It's not. I mean, James Lee. Here, I'll play what James Lee had to say about it. But even James Lee's explanation is like, eh, I don't think you can chalk this up to an oopsie. I don't think you can chalk this up to somebody wasn't doing their job. Like I don't see it. I don't see this as being somebody was not doing their job. It just there's no way this happens because somebody didn't, get their uh drink the Red Bull that day or whatever. Well, apparently there were some Russian nationals on the plane. But I don't know who. Yeah, I mean, was there a CEO or someone on the plane? Somebody important. That my first question was who was on that plane. I don't. I the Russian team was it gymnastics or ice skating? Like I don't. Why would you? Why would you target them? I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. Um, here's what James. Oh no, this is not James Lee. Here's James Lee. Kind of just saying that like somehow this is the fault of I don't know, corporations working for profit. This doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. This is not the greatest take, but I'm playing it anyway.
And already the internet is abound with theories about what might have happened. Was it a repeat of New Orleans and Las Vegas? Was it something about Saudi Arabia? Maybe even a shooting star or white orbs? Or was it DEI? Could it be one or any of those things? Definitely, maybe. But I have a sneaky feeling that when all the dust settles, the cause will most likely be some combination of decisions that were made in order to deprioritize safety and increase profits. Because near collisions happen all the time, especially in DC. This is an article from last April involving JetBlue and Southwest. Another one in DC, this one March of 2023, involving Republic Airways. Reagan Airport, DCA, is just one of the most trafficked air corridors in America. You not only have commercial planes, but you have military aircraft oftentimes flying side by side next to these commercial flights that are taking off and landing in DC. Yet last year, Congress authorized more flights to go in and out of Reagan Airport in DC. Why? Because Delta Airlines and other various airline lobby groups wanted them to do it, So they did. But at the same time, the country is short thousands of air traffic controllers. There are now reports that staffing was quote unquote not normal last night in DC and that there was only one controller instead of the usual two. I don't know. What can I say? They got to get better lobbyists, I guess.
So do you guys think they just were undermanned and that's how this happened? It's still, we'll keep going. I mean, he makes an interesting case, but I just don't. It's too weird. The way that the helicopter flew with the plane is just too weird. It's too weird.
This is from a pilot, now turned whistleblower, describing an alarming situation at another major airport in the United States. Quote, I'm a pilot and received this email from an airport manager about an issue that has been a growing problem for years in the Bay Area and is now growing even worse. San Carlos Airport is an airport within 10 miles of San Francisco International Airport, and it will have no air traffic controllers starting February 1st. The departure route for San Carlos directly overlaps the arrival path of San Francisco. San Carlos also hosts two of the area's largest flight schools. This means you now have a situation where inexperienced pilots will now be departing into highly complex airspace using solely their own judgment and reading of charts so as to not collide with aircraft landing in San Francisco. This guy goes on to describe some kind of FAA contract bidding situation that resulted in all of this, but not ideal to say the least. So what exactly happened to cause this tragedy in DC last night? We don't know for sure yet, but to me, I think this is a clear indicator, one of the many indicators of an empire in decline, and we'll have to see if people want to fix it.
Okay. So I'm trying to see who else was on the flight as far as, they're saying US figure skating confirmed several of its members were on the trip on the American flight. Pete Hegseth said the helicopter crew involved in the crash was fairly experienced and was doing an annual proficiency training flight. Yeah, I don't. Here's okay. I have an audio clip of some people talking over the radio about someone they pulled out of the water and transported to DC. One person. I want to know who this person is. If this is real, if this is true, I would like to know who this person is. I don't think there's a lot of information about who else was on the flight. But let's listen to this. And they're asking, was somebody alive after the crash and died later? American Airlines. Okay, here we go.
May I meet up with you, please? I want to take one. You can take two, please. Sure, I'm at row 49, sir. Copy.
EMS branch from Airport Firefight 378.
Go ahead.
Per our conversation earlier, I just spoke with Command Center out here on the water. They advised, as far as they know, they have one body that was taken to DC. That is all they know so far. They'll confirm and get back with you.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. May I meet up with you, please? I want to take one. You can take two, please. Sure, I'm at row 49, sir. Copy.
Okay, that was it. So they were saying they pulled one person out of the water and transported them to DC. One person. I don't know if they recovered the bodies of the service. Oh, let's go back to that other. I don't know. It said that the conditions were extremely rough for the responders. It's very cold. The wind is very intense. No black boxes have been discovered or recovered. I think the Black Hawk did not have a black box at all. So, or at least that's what I saw. I could be wrong. An earlier version of the story reported that 4 people had been rescued alive from the water. That's interesting. So they reported that 4 people were rescued, and they're like, "Nah." That's why would they report that? That's also very interesting. Because when things, like this happen and you have conflicting, you have news stories that come out right away, like, "Oh, we saw the fugitive going this way," right? And then later on, they're like, that story goes away, and then, "Oh, no, 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 he was definitely over here." I mean, maybe people get their stories wrong, but it's interesting. Um, I cannot see whether they had rescued anybody from the river yet, or if they had identified or rescued the service people. They said, was it the plane or was it? Oh, that's just because it got hit. Okay. So the audio from the flight tracking sites didn't record any response from the helicopter to the warnings from air traffic control. They were trying to warn the helicopter about the fact that it was heading straight for the plane. Like, hey, man, hey, dude, hey. Um, and they were not responding. Yeah. Okay. Well, I find that audio saying they pulled somebody out of the river and transported them to DC. I find that interesting. I find the early story of 4 survivors interesting. I don't know. I mean, it's early in the story, so it's hard to, I'm sure we're going to get a lot more information today. Um, just trying to see if there's anything else here. Yeah, they're not. They're kind of just saying the same thing. Top figure skaters from Russia and the United States, including 6 people with ties to the skating club of Boston, were among the victims. Um, I mean, 4 members of a Maryland-based labor union, the Steamfitters United Association, were also on the flight. Okay, here we go. The crew chief of the helicopter was identified as 29-year-old Ryan O'Hara. So there was a 26-year-old. Let me see. One of the victims was Azra Raza, who relocated to Washington D.C. for a job. He was a graduate of University of Indiana. So it looks like they don't know a lot. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's a crazy story. I'm sure a lot more is going to be revealed in the next couple of days. Okay. It's already late in the day, or late in this show. This is fairly disgusting. Israel is shooting the Palestinian hostages that are being released as they leave the bus. What? So Creative Experiment says training doesn't teach you to fly into airport flight passes. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It is a bit busy airspace, but I'm sure, a helicopter pilot, even, they said that they were fairly, they weren't beginners. And you wouldn't have beginners flying helicopters around, DC, in the middle of DC, I don't think. So they knew what they were doing, and you wouldn't fly into the flight paths. Do you think somebody overtook the helicopter controls? I'd say that's very likely. Or there was a major there was a malfunction and everything froze. But you don't. Still, it would be really hard if the controls stopped working. I think it would be really hard for that helicopter just to happen to be on a path with the plane. Like, it just doesn't seem likely. Anyways, Israel is releasing Palestinian hostages and then picking them off with snipers as they exit. This is a level of degeneracy, the level of degeneracy of Israel's apartheid culture. And this is from the cradle. Israeli forces opened fire at Palestinians around the buses carrying the released prisoners in Betunia, occupied West Bank. Well, are they shooting the? Does this prove that they're shooting the hostages as they leave the bus? I don't know.
الذي يجري الآن نستمع لإطلاق النار. أيضا طيب إطلاق النار في بيتونيا. كريستيان اسمح لي أن أعود الآن إلى أحمد جردات ونعلق على هذه الصور. بداية في محيط الحافلات يتم إطلاق النار بشكل كثيف الآن من جيش الاحتلال الإسرائيلي. نتابع على الشاشة قنابل الغاز أو قنابل الدخانية التي يطلقها.
Okay. Well, it's hard to know what's going on. I mean, just from that video. Yeah, Creative Experiments, I would agree with you that somehow the remote autopilot testing. Oh, let's look at one more clip about this. I know we're spending like most of the show talking about this, but oh, where's this guy? I think it's this. This guy. So here he's. So they're saying that all the soldiers, the Black Hawk was carrying 3 soldiers, and they were all killed. They're not saying who. They didn't identify them. Okay, one more take on this. This is, you may or may not have seen this guy before. Beauty Mark is his name. And he's saying it's no accident. It doesn't look like an accident.
So you expect me to believe that a Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines flight in DC's most monitored and secure airspace? Yeah, it sounds like some fucking bullshit, especially when you just so happen to consider who was on board, which ironically were a lot of popular Russian personnel. Now, as if that's not already fucking sketchy enough, you just so happen to look at the flight tracker, which I'll show you guys here in a second. But what I really want the attention to be on is where the helicopter took off from, which just so happens to be this address right here, which is 811 Lawton Street. And do you know what's located at that specific address? A whole shitload of properties that Saudi Arabian diplomats and scholars reside at. And when you just so happen to look at the specific owners, you might see that it's the Embassy of Saudi Arabia. Now, what's really interesting about this specific location, right, is the fact that one, a Black Hawk helicopter, for whatever fucking reason, took off from this location and not only ignored air traffic control, but also flew directly into that airline. An airline of which 2 passengers were known to have tuberculosis on. I'm not specifically saying that that has anything to do with this scenario, okay? But There is a major tuberculosis outbreak that just so happens to be around that specific location of which that airline flew off from. So why wouldn't the US government utilize their good old Saudi Arabian buddies to take care of a potential crisis? Putting that aside, because that might just be a conspiracy theory for now, that specific location of which that Black Hawk took off from just so happens to ironically be the same exact location of which a Black Hawk that was rumored to be shooting people during the Las Vegas incident also flew off from as well. Now, this is the flight pattern of the helicopter, the orange plane being the helicopter, okay? Look at how many planes it just narrowly misses. Now, I know you can't tell the difference between altitude, but this isn't exactly coincidental, is it? I mean, that's the third one right there. Sorry about the fucking ad. And then this. It diverts its path off to the side. And then as you can see here in a second, it aims to go closer to the airport, but diverts its route as well. And then it just keeps flying directly towards that airline. If you want some clarification and a full rundown about the Las Vegas incident, you can go check out Ian Carroll's profile on X. He's truly phenomenal at what he does, but I don't find that to be any coincidence. You feel me? This is obviously a false flag. And if you can't realize that and you still think that this was just some accident, then you're choosing to be fucking delusional. Now, I don't know who's necessarily trying to ignite tensions with Russia right now, the Biden administration, but I'd say that committing acts like this is a really good fucking way of doing it.
All right. Well, so there's a lot I would like to discount in that video too. So the most interesting thing is taking off from personnel associated with it. Here's what ChatGPT says. According to recent reports, the helicopter involved in the crash was not taking off from the Saudi embassy, but from a private residence associated with Saudi diplomatic personnel. That's weird. That's weird. That doesn't, that's strange. Legitimately strange. The flight path is strange. I don't know. All the other stuff, I don't know. The TB thing and the igniting tensions with Russia thing, whatever. There was a lot in here that I could not take seriously. Which is why I don't really play this guy's stuff all that much, because he seems to veer towards, more shocking claims that might not necessarily have facts and evidence behind them. So whatever. Just giving you some different perspectives. Okay. Going back to Israel, and this is a legitimate question. Why do we give Israel so much money? And we're worried about, taxpayer spending, spending everybody's money, and the Department of Government Efficiency, and, spending too much money on Social Security or Medicaid. But why are U.S. taxpayers paying $414 million to Israel corporations that I'm guessing 99% of people have never heard of before? You want to trim some fat? Here is close to $500 million coming out of taxpayer pockets that's being spent on a foreign nation. Right. And everybody is pointing out, because Trump is saying, like, well, let's stop giving out foreign aid, but we're not stopping the aid to Israel. And Israel is the biggest recipient of foreign aid. So not serious about that one. Trump not serious about that one. Trump not meaning what he says about that one. Of course, right. Steph C says it almost sounds worse than taking off from an embassy. It does. Why is a Black Hawk helicopter taking off from a private residence and then flying into and then they're saying that it was some kind of, was that part of the exercise? I don't know. why would that be the place where you take off from? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever. More likely somebody took control of the plane, maybe. I don't know. I feel like that's a more likely explanation, but I have limited I have limited idea knowledge about what really is going on, so I'm not gonna get too much into theorizing. I'm just saying it looks weird. That's all. It definitely looks weird. Let's see. Also, Trump is saying he's going to build a migrant detention center on Guantanamo. I don't know how that's helpful, and I don't know how that saves anybody money. That sounds like a lot of money being spent. What is it? I mean, how does this make any sense? You're going to put a migrant detention center in Guantanamo, and you're going to spend money shipping everybody over there and keeping everybody alive over there. That apparently it's going to house 30,000 people. That's it's fairly insane, and that don't make no sense. As a good friend once said, that don't make no sense. The precedent for Trump's order, this is Max Blumenthal, was set by George Bush, H.W. Bush, and Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, the most Republican Democrat that ever did Democrat, except for Joe Biden. He was pretty Republican for a Democrat. Anyways, Bill Clinton, who detained thousands of Haitians at Guantanamo during the early 1990s following the U.S.-backed coup that removed Haiti's elected leader, Jean-Bertrand Aristide. This was Gitmo in 1991. Yeah, this looks like a bunch of... This looks like a big money pit to me. All right. And this is what he's saying about it.
Today, I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know about it. We have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. Some of them are so bad we don't even trust the countries to hold them because we don't want them coming back, so we're going to send them out to Guantanamo. This will double our capacity immediately, right? And that's a tough place to get out.
So what is he saying? He's saying that they can't really get the people back to the country, so they're just going to put them in a big prison. Is that what he's saying? This is where all the bad criminal migrants are going to go? That we can't, because Colombia won't take them back or wherever.
Get out of. Today's signings bring us one step closer to eradicating the scourge of migrant crime in our communities once and for all. And it was just it's just an unforced error that we even have to be doing this. Now we need Congress to provide full funding for the complete and total restoration of our sovereign borders, as well as financial support to remove record numbers of illegal aliens.
Okay. That's weird. That we went from deport all migrants to house them on Guantanamo or in Guantanamo. Okay. I don't know how that makes sense, but okay. I don't know how that's going to work out. And that, most likely is going to, I feel like that's going to foster some blowback. I think people are going to be upset about that. John Glad says, fund it with corporate profits and it won't be built. I'm wondering, I actually think this is a for-profit venture. Like, hold on, let's listen to this again. Sorry to make you listen to it again.
Today, I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know about it.
He's saying Department of Defense. Okay. I mean, I would think that the private prison industry would be getting in on this one. Or, the good old military contractors, but I don't know. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, I've got a couple more things to show you. Not too many more things, but if you like this show, coming to you for free 99 Monday through Friday. You enjoy the content this show brings you, the chatting and the hanging out. Oh, Salt Lickers. Don't Haiti the player, Haiti the game. Very good. Very good. Yeah, if you like the show, you want to see it continue. You might want to support the show with a friendly donation here and there. And all the links to do that are in the description box of all the platforms that the show is aired on. And a lot of you support the show already. You know who you are, and I appreciate you. I really do. All right. What else are we looking at? Oh, I wanted to play this. So RFK called out Bernie Sanders. RFK called out Bernie Sanders. Let's see if I have it. I think I have it right here. Oh, here we go. For taking pharma money. And Bernie Sanders was like, no. But he did. He did. He totally did. Bernie Sanders is now a pharma company sellout. Say it ain't so, Bernie. Say it ain't so. We hardly knew ye, Bernie Sanders. Once the hero of the working people, now the stooge of the corporate class, trying to derail RFK Jr.'s nomination by, throwing everything at him, telling him, asking if he supports the onesies. Did you guys see that one? Anyways, let's play this.
I'm going to make America healthier than other countries in the world right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other major country does? It's a simple question.
And by the way, Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought that would, no. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest
Because I had
receiver of
small
pharmaceutical money.
contributions from workers all over this country. Workers,
You were the
not a nickel from corporate
Bernie,
tax.
you were the single largest
From
acceptor of
workers-
pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from workers in the industry.
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million. All right, but you have not answered. Last question.
Oh, Bernie. Bernie, you lied. You lied. Hold on, I'm going to find this. Oh, I had it right here. Here we go. Open secrets. Pharmaceutical health product recipients from 2020, from the year that RFK stated, he was the top recipient of money from pharmaceuticals and health products. $1.5 million. Bernie. Bernie, we hardly knew ye. You fell so far. Exactly. And you're nothing but a regular congressional or senatorial. You're just a liar. You're full of the what's the colloquial? The bullpucky. Full of it, man. And let's look at another year. I think in the last year he was, let's see, top 20. Is he in the top 20? Oh, let's look at let's look at another year. Let's look at 2024. Did he take money in 2024? Let's see. I think that on the all-time list, he's up there. All right, 2024, not so much. 2022. Let's see if we can find him on the list. All right, good for you, Bernie Sanders. But in 2020, he was number one. What was the other? Let's see. I have a. Hold on one second. He's on another list here where he's right up there with everybody. Mitt Romney, Orrin Hatch, Anna Eshoo, Kevin McCarthy, Frank Pallone. I don't know if I can show you guys this list I have. I'd screenshotted it, so I just need to find the page that it was from. I think would be better. And then I will let you guys go. Hold on one second. No. I knew you were going to say, he said, I knew you were going to say that. Let's see. If I can find the other list. Where is it? Come on, man. Excuse me. I think he was on an all-time list. Let's see. Just looked at that one. Campaign finance summary. Oh, I'm going down a rabbit hole. Sorry, guys. Anyways, I can't find the original page that I got this screenshot from. So I won't show it to you just because I feel like that's, if I can't find the original source for it, I won't show it. I'll find it. I'll find it. All right. Let's see. Orrin Hatch. Is he? What? He sent it back. Yeah, poor Bernie, man. Or no, poor us. Not poor Bernie. Poor us. We were misled, bamboozled, hoodwinked, schnookered, taken in. I didn't even look at. Sorry, I didn't really pay attention to the Rockfin chats today. I apologize, guys. AOD asks, did the helicopter pilot recently get jabbed? Asking for a friend. Maybe. I mean, there's all kinds of theories. I would say, like, don't take any of them seriously for the first 48 hours till more information is revealed. It just looks funny. That's all I can. That's all I can really. That's as far as I can go with it. Is like, well, that is strange, but you know, until I have more information, it's hard to really like get the football and start running down the field with like, oh, I know what's happening. All right, hold on, just making sure I don't want to miss anybody if I have anybody to thank today. If there are any contributors, I don't know. I promise to make my setup a little more, slightly more professional in the near future. Let's see. I don't think so. All right. Thanks, guys. That about does it for me today. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you tomorrow at the regular time of 12 p.m. Pacific. And y'all have been great. And until next time, peace.